And I think about 8 years old, I realized that music was calling me.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there something that just hit that was like, all right, this is what I want to do, even though you were so young?
The genre thing, I know everybody likes to categorize, but I don't think anyone has just one genre of music on their iPod.
You've been making dope-ass music forever.
Yeah.
Concerts left and right.
Yes.
And you've never smoked, never drank. How?
Mike Tyson said discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
There's people that get up and don't like what they're doing every day.
God bless them.
What advice would you give like new artists that want to pursue what you did?
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
My brother MC Magic, all the way from Phoenix. What's up, my brother?
Man, thank you for having me on the True Hustle, baby.
Vámonos. That's right, baby. Well, thank you for being here, man.
It's all love, baby. It's all love.
I appreciate you, man. I know that, you guys are super busy, and every time you guys are in LA, I appreciate the people that do fly in and take the time to stop by, man. Bro, I appreciate it, man.
Well, we're out here promoting a new project, so we had to stop by and do our due diligence.
That's so, man. Well, now that we bring up the new project, what we got?
The new song is called Para Siempre, featuring Michael Salgado. A little something. I've been a fan of Michael Salgado for a long time, and when I met him in Dallas, we connected. We agreed to do a song together, and here we are promoting a video and everything, and it's dope, and I'm excited about it, People always ask me, what kind of music is it? Like if I meet a stranger in the airport, they might say, well, you're a musician. What kind of music do you make? I try to make good music just because I just consider music. It's not like, well, I want to do just hip hop. I want to do just love songs, or just I want to do Spanish or English or romantico or cumbia or a hip hop track with the Yodis. It's just good music and that other stuff. So I just try to make good music.
So it's not like a specific genre.
The genre thing, I know everybody likes to categorize, but it's just, to me, music is just everyone's escape,
And
I don't think anyone has just one genre of music on their iPod,
You're right.
Whatever. I don't think anybody does.
Hell no. I think I have a variety.
Of course.
I listen to everything.
Me too.
Growing up,
yeah,
I listened to Los Terricolas, and I know you did something. Bro, when I heard that, I'm like, oh my God. I listened to Los Terricolas, Juan Gabriel, Los Temerarios.
Yeah.
That's the music that I grew up to.
It's an amazing era of music.
Beautiful.
An amazing era of music. Marco Antonio Solis, Jose, Los Yonix, Los Duendes, all of
Bangers.
it, yeah.
Is that the music that inspired you?
I think it is, because I was a little kid listening to my tias and my mom clean the house, and so you would hear stuff like Volveré, boom, 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 boom. It just takes me there,
You just brought my childhood and shit, bro.
So those type of things that music really made me like love songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's for the majority of first generation, like for people like me that grew up, that my parents are straight from Mexico.
Yeah,
and that's what I grew up to.
No doubt.
That's like I said, that's in our soul.
It is, and I think Mexican music in general gets trapped in people's souls, because I've seen people that are not Mexican go crazy with the Mexican music.
That's dope.
And so. Yeah, Mexican music just has a lot of soul.
And then going from the transition that growing up, I grew up to that music, but being raised here, it wasn't as, how can I put it, as accepted. I don't know if that's the correct, but growing up to it and now seeing that, oh man, this is like a movement now,
Well,
but
I understand what you're saying, but I can't say I was any less influenced by Zapp and Roger, by the songs that Babyface wrote, by I was into Bobby Brown, think about a Roni, she's a sweet little girl. People might laugh at Bobby Brown where he's at now but man, his songs, they had the bacon shaking. You feel me?
He made bangers, huh?
Come on now. Think about a Roni. Come on now. Every little step I take, You will be there. Bang,
That's
bang,
what I'm
bang.
talking
You know?
about. And then I think you had we had the best of both worlds because we could identify with the Mexican music. And now we could identify with American music.
Exactly. And I do feel like it's the best of both worlds. And I didn't used to speak Spanish as well as I do now. I had to exercise it a lot, but it was always in my blood. There was always a mamacita, let me call you up, como estás, mi chula, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. All those words were always there, but now I can actually go do Spanish press, and have a conversation in Espanol, but it's because I had practiced it a lot more. But that stuff is, from the very beginning, the love we share, something so especial, estar contigo, is all I want, And so all that stuff, since the very beginning of my songs, I had to incorporate, my culture into it.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope. You grew up, so you were born in Mexico, and then you migrated
born in Sonora,
here.
Nogales, Sonora, Mexico. I think I was maybe 4 or 5 when my parents, brought the whole family over, because my dad came over first by himself to try to make some dinero, and then later brought the whole family. And so, I think I was probably about 5 years old, and I think about 8 years old, I realized that music was calling me.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there something that just hit that was like, all right, this is what I want to do, even though you were so young?
I think that the most memorable times, there was one point when we were living in Tucson, Arizona for a quick hot minute, 1-bedroom apartment, the whole familia. And my neighbor Marcos, he's like, "Yo, quiero que cantes conmigo, vamos a." So he pulled out some of those white 5-gallon drums, and that was our drums, and we were singing that song. Doña Juana la que vive en la esquina tiene una pata de palo, mírala como camina. And he introduced me to just performing right there in the dirt parking lot, and I was like, "This is fun." But then later in life, one of the friends of the family, he had a boombox. He had a boombox, and when he went to work, I would mess with his boombox. And then I started getting tapes and recording songs off the radio. And when me and that boombox that wasn't mine started that relationship, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Matter of fact, I figured out how to turn that boombox into a speaker mic. Like, 'cause nowadays you have the what do you call it? The karaoke machines. It wasn't a thing back then. There was no such thing as a karaoke machine. So what I did was I plugged a little microphone. It used to be like an 1/8 inch jack. You plug in the microphone to record vocals to the cassette. And so what I would do is and when you hit record, it turns off the speakers. So I figured a way off to turn the speakers back on while in record mode. And that's how I used to sing into the damn. It was crazy because, like, necessity is the father of invention, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's really where it started. I was about 8 years old, man, and I was singing those Mexican love songs. I remember King Clive would be on the radio. Dicen que los hombres no deben llorar por una mujer que ha pagado mal. And I was like, damn, this guy's hurting my soul right now.
It's like, man, this guy's singing to me.
Yeah. Shit. So, that, and then when I discovered who LA and Babyface were, LA and Babyface at one time were writing all the hits that were on the radio. Between them and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, it was like what right now is Drake and Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? That's
and that was back in the late 70s, early 80s?
Let me see. That's probably early 90s, late 80s.
Okay.
Early 90s, late 80s.
Okay.
Okay. Yup.
That's what's
because think about it. There's a lot of songs that that you don't know Babyface wrote. He wrote the Bobby Brown record Roni that I was just talking about.
Really?
He wrote that record. He wrote TLC's Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls.
Nah.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. He also wrote, I'm not doing him justice, but I don't know if you know the song by The Deal that goes, I only think of you on 2 occasions.
Yes.
That's day and night. Well, that's Babyface singing that because he was a member of The Deal. That's the group who they released it under. And so Babyface, I was a label reader. Like, who produced this? Who wrote this? And I was reading the labels. Back then, that's why they call record companies record labels. It's because there was a label on the vinyl that said everything about the record. And I would be reading all the credits. And I'm like, damn, that guy Babyface. L.A. and Babyface are amazing because they were the team.
So that's literally why they call them
Record label. Yeah, because they would take a sticker and put it on the vinyl, and that was their label.
And how old were you when you were reading on the critics and reading
I think I started reading labels when One Way Cutie Pie came out. That must have been 83, 84, something like that. 82, 83, 84, yeah. I was just a chavalito into it, you know?
You were young.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Check
I'm
this out.
old now, bro.
You look young as hell.
Yeah.
I was born in 84.
You were born in 84.
I was born in 84.
Yeah, so check it out. And I'm proud of this. Like, people don't want to boast their age, but in 3 years, I'll be 60 years old, brother. In 3 years, I'll be 60.
Bro, you look better than some 30-year-olds that I know, dog. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'll be 60, bro. And I'll do 200 push-ups a day, bro. Yeah.
Okay, well, now that you bring that up, how do you maintain and keep yourself in... You have energy.
Yes, man.
You have energy. You look young.
Yes.
Is it like what? Like, bro, are you eating like keto diets and shit like that? Or like, or what does it consist of?
I'm not on a particular diet. I eat whatever I want. I love pizza. I love burgers, but I don't have them every day. It's a treat. I love coffee, but I don't have it every day. And so mostly I have like my wife, because of her medical condition, she can't eat sugar, dairy. So when I'm home, not to say that I stick to her diet, but I try to eat healthier. Okay. So in the morning, instead of having my coffee, I'll have jugo de naranja, and we'll have natural jugo de naranja.
Pero natural,
yeah,
exprimido.
natural, yeah, and fresh made, not from the store, from the bottle with chemicals in it. The natural. I love watermelon juice. Sometimes I have my celery juice in the morning, and that kind of stuff. And then I exercise every day. At least do 2 miles with my dogs, do 200 push-ups a day, and then I get in the sauna for 30 minutes every morning. It just really, it sucks all the BS out of me, you know?
People underestimate the power of the sauna.
Oh, my God. My sauna is my secret.
Dude, I do sauna. I did it 20 minutes. I do it 20 minutes every day.
Yeah.
And that's after my workout.
Yeah, I go 30 minutes at 140 degrees.
Shit. That's what's up.
Yeah, and I love it. Before that, I used to hike the mountain all the time. So I changed it up a little bit. I remember one time one of my homeboys used to say, man, I want to get in shape. I go, well, you should go hike the mountain with me.
And how'd that go, dog? Bro, people think that shit is easy, dog.
Bro. I'll wait right here for you.
Bro, it's like when people be like, yeah, it ain't shit. Let's go hike. I'm like, oh.
But that on top of the fact that I love my life, I love my career, I love my fans, I love my work, just being happy itself makes you a better, I don't know, I guess it just rejuvenates me. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're genuinely at peace and happy. And I think that's the X factor, and that makes the difference.
Yeah. For sure.
There's people that get up and don't like what they're doing every day.
God bless them. God bless them.
God bless them, and I hope they find what they're, something that makes them happy. And I think in your case, bro, you get up like, all right, what are we doing today?
Yeah,
I already have everything said. I already,
Yeah, and Mike Tyson said discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
And that's key.
Hard. That's hard because when you get up in the morning and you feel this and that, and a lot of people my age are always complaining about their bones and their body and their aches and their pains, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I get up, and even if I feel a little lazy, I'm like, I know that after my run with my dogs, I'm gonna feel like a champ, and that feeling is not. I wouldn't trade that for the world. On top of that, bro, I've never been high, never been drunk. I don't do any drugs.
You beat me to it. I was going to get into that.
None of it. On top of that. And I think that's helped as well, you know?
Okay. Let me get this straight. MC Magic, you've been on forever. You've been making dope-ass music forever.
Yeah.
Concerts left and right.
Yes.
And you've never smoked, never drank. how? like
Well,
how does that happen?
First of all, I was just telling Katrina a minute ago. She was asking me about that, and when I was a kid, a bunch of my friends in the projects, I think we were probably in 7th grade, they would say, we're gonna I'm gonna steal some cigarettes from my tío. We're gonna smoke some cigarettes. It's just a bit of a rebel thing to do. Mm-hmm. And I remember my mom had told me, she said, "Mira, tú tienes asma." I had asthma as a kid. She says, si te fumas un cigarro de marihuana o de tabaco, te vas a morir. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Te traumó.
She put it in my brain. And so when they were passing the cigarette around, I just pretended I was smoking the cigarette just to be cool with the little homies that were being traviesos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we're going to be traviesos together. But I didn't smoke it. I was like, y la madre, you know that?
Like, I did not inhale.
Exactly. But I pretended just to be cool. But later I was like, no, it's better just to tell people the truth. And that's why I say it now, because there's so many kids and everything in your life is about your decisions. You could decide to stay home, or you could decide to go out with your crazy homies. And the crazy homies might get in a car wreck, kill somebody, and now you're both in jail with a case or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You get drunk and it's just endless amount of stuff that can happen. Life has already got obstacles. Why create more?
Oh my God. And you're right. I think people underestimate what their altered self is capable of.
That's crazy that you say that, because I always think too, I never want to be not me.
Damn.
Why do you think they call it wine and spirits? Because a spirit takes over.
I don't want to have control. I don't want to not have control of me. Does that make sense?
I'm with that 100%.
You know, I don't want to feel like somebody says some stupid ass shit that typically I would get pissed about, but as an adult, you let it slide.
Yeah.
But what about that altered version of yourself that's drunk? You think that person's gonna let it slide? I don't know.
Yeah,
so it's like, and I don't want to put myself.
I've never been that altered person.
You know, and no, I'm speaking for myself. Like, I'm just like, and I don't want to ever be that, you know? So.
Yeah. And then when you have kids, now you got that responsibility of, man, do I want my kid to see me all tirado, atascado, vomiting on the rug? That's just gross, man. If you're supposed to be a leader, you got to show your kids what a leader is.
Another fact. That's not even like that's a fact.
Yeah.
Because kids learn how.
Exactly.
Kids learn by your behavior.
When I was a kid, I don't know if you ever seen this. When I was a kid, there was a commercial on TV where the dad comes home and he breaks into like a back room or something, and he finds this kid. This kid was like 13 or 14 smoking weed. And he's like, "Where did you get this stuff?" He goes, "I got it from you, Dad."
Damn.
You know, who taught you how to? I saw you doing it.
And at that point, what do you tell the kids? Like, you're like, don't fucking do that. Only I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
This is a tough rule, but one of the rules is if my kids can't see me doing it, then I shouldn't be doing it.
Damn.
You feel me?
Yeah. And that, because I think you're conscious about it,
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
I think, you know, as a parent, we should be conscious about the shit that we do.
Yeah.
You know, because our kids are looking.
But even higher than your kids' thoughts about you is God sees everything. So if you're stupid enough to lie to God, come on, man, there's no integrity. God sees everything.
Everything.
You know, when you scheme somebody's money, you know, when you cut somebody off, God sees everything. And so I'd rather just be good with God. You feel me?
Be good with God and be at peace.
At peace. You know? At peace.
You know, that's why I always say, yo no le debo nada a nadie. You know, and I've never done anything that somebody, or God, could be like, oh, son.
Yeah.
You know, te portaste mal.
Yeah.
You did this. Nah. I'm like, nah, I try to be in good graces, you know, all the time, because it's hard when people aren't looking, right? Like, you have to do the right thing even when people aren't looking.
Always. And none of us are perfect, me included. None of us are perfect, so we all have faults.
Yeah.
We all have faults, but God's grace is good. God's grace is understanding, and merciful, and this and all that and the other. But there's gonna come a day when
we all get tested, though.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's gonna happen, and
so gracias a Dios, I just been able to maneuver in a good way,
Well, man, I commend you on that, man, because I think the whole sobriety stuff, especially in concerts and stuff like that, alcohol is flowing left and right. Now it's more common to see weed smoking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you still were like, nah, ni madres. No quiero nada.
But I don't need it because I get high off of life. I get high off music. I get high off meeting fans. It's so beautiful when people cry on your shoulder and tell you that when they were 13, they had a breakup and this one song just stayed with them. You can't trade that for nothing. Money can't buy that.
You're right. And I can just imagine.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because you had tons of fans, bro.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro, man. When a complete stranger hugs you like they've known you forever and they cry on your shoulder and like they lose their... and that's a deep cry, you know what I'm saying? And you just got to embrace the moment, And that's to me, it's a reward. That's a gift that fans give me, you know what I'm saying? For the little work that I've done.
Little. He's being modest, huh? He's being modest. He's being modest. I've been listening to you, bro, since I was a kid, man.
That's right.
And now I have you here. God is good, you know. Which, so MB Writers.
Yes.
That was your first group?
It was, well, when I first started it, yes, it was my first group. But when I started it, we called it Nasty Boy Click.
NBK.
So for the first 2 albums, altogether, I produced 4 albums for the NB. And Nasty Boy stands for my record label, Nasty Boy Records.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the NB is. So in the beginning of the group, I was actually working on my second album as a solo artist because my first album had Lost in Love on it, coming out to PHX. That was my 95. So 96, I'm working on a new album to drop in 97. In 97, I had a bunch of songs that were dope. These little love songs and other songs that I've been working with these guys from Glendale, this other kid from North High School, Buki Loke. So I took all the songs that I was working with and I was like, I'm going to put a compilation called Nasty Boy Click. The clique of everybody that works with Nasty Boy Records, my label.
Okay.
And as soon as we dropped Down for Yours, If You Down for Mine, it just took off. And like this new group, Nasty Boy Clique, nah, rah, rah, rah. So by evolution, we became a group. And so I embraced it. We're a group now. And so Nasty Boy Clique, we did one major release with Down for Yours. And then for the second album, the label dropped us because we didn't perform to their standards. Okay. So the label dropped us for the second album. And that's when another small label from San Jose, California came in and said, we want to keep this Nasty Boy Click thing going. We like what you're doing. And we heard the song Lost in Love. I'm like, no, Lost in Love is not a Nasty Boy Click record. It's an MC Magic song from my original album. And they're like, but let's release it and call it Nasty Boy Click because it sounds good. So I agreed to it. I'm like, okay, same record, no changes. We just called it Nasty Boy Click. And then when I got done working on that second album, which was the first with the second label, I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with the way they were handling business, the way finances were, the whole radio politics back then, before the internet. The whole radio politics was tough, and I'm like, I don't want to be part of this no more. I'd rather go back to just being MC Magic. And so when I left, Upstairs Records told me, you can leave and we'll let you out of your contract, but you don't own the name anymore. You don't own Nasty Boy Click anymore. So that's when I went back home to Phoenix, thought what I was going to do next. And I said, fuck it, I'll go from MBK to MB Writers. So I switched it up, had a new name. Now I'm by myself, though, because the other three members of the group, they stayed with their label. But even though they were with the label, they still lived in Phoenix because the label's from California and we're in Phoenix. They're still in Phoenix. And we were still, what are you working on? And I would show them this. And then I would pay them to get on a verse and date the verse from before the contract so I could still use their verse. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so I was building NB Writers, but I hadn't named it NB Writers yet. And finally I decided, we made a list of names, NB Click, NB this, NB that, AZ Writers, because we're from Arizona, obviously. So we went with NBRIDAZ. Nasty Boy Records, Ride, Arizona. RIDA, Riders.
Oh, shit.
NB
Okay,
Riders.
okay.
So that's what we went with. And so, and I had one record that I had worked on with Angelina called Runaway. And I loved that record, but they didn't like it. When I presented it to the label, they were like, nah, it doesn't feel like a hit. So I just kept it and kept Angelina's vocals on it. And on the credits, I put somebody else sang it because I didn't want to change Angelina's voice. It sounded so good. And so because I kept Angelina on that single, and then I released it on my own label, and I went to radio, by then I had already built relationships with people. And so they played Runaway. We can run away and spend some time. I'll always be the one right by your side. Right?
Banger.
They played it, and so Upstairs Records from California called me up. Magic, that sounds like Angelina on that record, bro. La, 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 la. And I'm like, it's not. Some girl named Veronica. I was lying, bro.
It might be cousins.
You know,
no.
they were calling me on my BS, and John goes, "It's okay, Magic. Just bring it back to the label and we'll work it out." So see, because it was a hit. It was a hit, and he like, it's a good thing you had her on there, so he has some leverage to pull me back. And I told him, I says, nah, I don't want to because of finance and this and that. And I threw a number out to him that I thought he wasn't going to meet. I said, if you want me to come back to the label, give me $200,000. And he's like, you got it, bro. Let's do it.
Oh, shit. And in your mind, we're like, damn, should I have asked for 5?
Yeah. Now, I thought that with the previous deal that I made with Nasty Boy Click. But for this one, I knew that I was bringing the whole group back together now. It's part of the deal. And $200,000, even for that little small label, it was a big number because he even said, you'll get the $200,000, but I got to pay you in 3 months.
And this was back in, you said 90.
That was 98. 97 was the first Nasty Boy Click. And 98 was the second, was the second coming is what we called our second album. And that's when I left. And then in 2001, I had the Runaway record, the Angelina record. Okay. And that's when I got the $200,000 deal from John. But he paid me in bits and pieces, which really sucks because, I get $50,000 and I got to break it up with everybody. And I'm stuck. Oh, man, I only made $10,000. And then next month, so I just dissipated. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like, man, págame todo completo.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then if little payments, then you start just spending.
And not only that, we were in a position where, coming from the hood, you don't know money management. It took me a long time to learn how to manage money. And so, I mean, I had the first label give me $350,000. And man, I pissed it off. I was buying shoes for everybody in the group. I was buying sweatsuits and everything so that Nasty Boy Click could look good on stage.
Fresh.
And I was throwing money like I was rich, boy. That money ran out quick. And gave everybody in the group the $10,000 bonus too. Dude. But just money managers don't know, you know what I'm saying? But little by little we learned, and I learned that the best thing for me would be go back to being a solo artist. Handle everything myself, pay everything up front, don't give your stuff to a label. And so little by little, we were able to create a new catalog, the MC Magic catalog, which has become as valuable as the catalog that I created for these other companies.
That's fucking dope. But those money management mistakes, those taught you some valuable lessons though, right?
They did.
Like, all right, I can't do that shit again. Like I need to be organized. We need to do it this way. Yeah.
Not only that, money makes you see the real person in people, and that's from every point of view, because the other guys could say, Magic was a cool dude when I started working with him, but when he started making money, all of a sudden, he flipped on us. And I could say, that's crazy that the same guys that I took from regular day jobs, putting thousands in their pocket every weekend, no matter how much I gave them, it wasn't enough. So from my point of view, that's what I felt. And it's like, man, if I'm just going to spend all this money, all this time, record all these songs, write all these hooks, might as well just do it for myself.
It puts you in a situation sometimes, seen.
Yeah.
People only want to see their side.
Of course. And that's everybody.
And, that's everybody. And it's sometimes you got to look at the whole fucking picture. Like, damn, like, it's not, people just was so one-sided. It's a two-way street, man. Yeah, you got to look at things.
Yeah, because I agree that there's no I in team. There isn't. There's no I in team. And, no basketball player is going to win a championship by themselves. It's not going to happen. And I agree with all that. But at a certain point, you have to see, well, if we put this much in this scale and this much, this makes more sense. And those are how my decisions are based. At the end of the day, I'm still writing songs that people love. I mean, I released J-Rocks with a full album of bangers, the songs that people love. Now we're releasing my son, and I'm writing corridos for him now too.
Damn,
so we're doing. So it's all good. Like I wrote this song with me and Michael Salgado. God is good.
You're just very talented, bro, and you know how to. You have that gift to write songs, and I think sometimes it's better to just give it 100% on your stuff and just focus on.
I think a painter needs to love paintings.
Yeah.
And a boxer needs to love boxers. I love music. You feel me? And that's how I'm able to continue to just put out records and records. Even like people talk about genres. To me, genres, they get in the way. There's just good music and the other stuff,
That's a good point.
Yeah,
you're right. Which one are some of the collabs that you've done that have been like, oh man, I can't believe I'm doing a collab with that person?
I did some collabs that are amazing, but none of these collabs have become my big hits. All the songs that I wrote by myself in a little studio smaller than this, those are the ones that became the big hits. I did a song with Jenni Rivera before she died, a song called Love Again with Jenni Rivera, my homie Chino Brown. He's the one that brought her to the table, and we got on that record. To me, it's beautiful. I had no idea she was going to die, shortly after we recorded that song and video,
Oh, man. So it was right after?
Yeah. It was, I think 2 years after we released that song, Jenni died. I could be wrong on that, but that's just my guesstimate. I did a song with Twista before. I did a song with Twista. It was called, matter of fact, there was a little rapper out of Texas that was she was really talented, making some smoke. And one of my homeboys said, man, you got to check this girl out. She's dope. They call her Snow White. And I'm like, okay, check out Snow White. And so when I checked her out, I'm like, damn, this girl's amazing. So I put her on the same record as Twista because she was that good of a rapper. Well, Snow White had to change her name because she got sued by Disney. And she's now called Snow the Product.
No way.
Yeah. So now she's Snow the Product. And I was the first to ever feature her on a song with Twista.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I did that. I did another song with Too Short. Really love that record, but it wasn't my style. And because I'm working with Too Short, I want to ask him to do a love song. So we did a song called Dancer. She got the body of a dancer. La la la. Upbeat records never been my winners, but my love songs, boy, they stick.
Man, they stick for a while.
Yeah, and you already mentioned one of my favorite songs too, the one with El Terricola, Nestor Daniel from Los Terricolas. I love that record, featuring Bo Bundy. We filmed it in Miami. Oh man, it's just such a good record, bro. Such a good record.
And they're such a legend. Like, man, I still remember being a kid.
Yeah.
In my dad's little Mustang.
Yeah. It's easy to give love to all the hits, the ones that everybody loves. Yeah. But there's songs that I've wrote that I was like, man, this was gonna change the world. And people don't even notice it. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite songs in 2016, I dropped a song called If I Should Die, featuring King Lil G. And at that point was Mexico's hottest rapper, Secan, King Lil G, MC Magic, featuring Nicole on the hook. If I Should Die, one of my favorite songs ever, because I just put my heart into that record. It's not one of my biggest hits. It's only got like 7 million hits, but
But you felt that should have.
Oh my God! Another song that I remember when I heard that song that Bruno Mars did. It was just a piano and him. I forget the name of the song. Really good song. La 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 la. Whatever it is, right?
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
And so I should have brought you roses or something like that. I think that's
I should have bought you flowers. Why?
Yeah. So that record inspired me to write a song called "Missing You," And I did the song called Missing You, and I'm like, man, this is international. Like people in Greece and France and everywhere, they'll enjoy this. But I mean, this little Chicano label out of Arizona don't have the budget to promote like Universal Records does. And so it never saw that beauty, It did well for me, Missing You. Still one of my favorite songs I've ever wrote,
But it should have gone bigger.
It should have been bigger, yeah.
You just think that bigger companies have bigger budgets that could promote?
No, there's a whole lot of things that, in my opinion, and this is no facts, in my opinion, record companies would rather sign someone these days that's already on fire, that already has a big social media following. And the way they grab them is by giving them a big budget, like saying, I'm going to give you $1 million. But then they're going to turn around and make $30 million off of you. And the artist is never going to see that. So that's one of the things. But in my opinion, labels want to grab an artist when they're young and easy to manipulate. So now that I already know the business, they don't want to deal with this fool that already, has a catalog of 150 songs on an independent label, is already generating, hundreds of thousands of dollars on royalties. There's just, the trade-off is going to be, if they come to me, I'm going to want 20 million. And it's not worth it for them to give me 20 million. Okay, so I'm going to keep my shit and I'm going to just eat off that. But a newcomer, they shine him with $1 million on a gold chain. Vámonos.
And that's how these upcoming artists with the heavy following.
Yeah.
That's why they're being targeted, right? Like,
of course.
Okay, like, of course. $1 million?
Yeah.
And on the back end, you're right, they're making fucking 30 times that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then they give you crumbs.
Oh yeah. Man, I just saw a post by Michael Jackson. He said Sony Records made more than $30 billion off my music. Not million, billion. Right? He said, but they didn't know that I was going to get smart. What Michael Jackson ended up doing was buying half the catalog of Sony Publishing. So, man, all the royalties, not only from his music, all the Sony royalties were going half to him. And the way he negotiated that, because he owned the Beatles catalog. He bought the Beatles catalog, the rights to the publishing, right?
Really?
So Sony was like, well, we need you to bring the Beatles to our catalog. And Michael was smart. Michael said, what I'll do is I'll bring you the Beatles catalog, but you don't have to pay me. Just give me half ownership of the whole pie. So now him and Sony are 50-50 partners.
Damn.
Right?
That's brilliant.
They want that half back bad. How do we get it back? Answer the question.
Shit. So there's the whole business side of this. It's not just the producing side. It's just like...
Man, making the music is the fun part. Making the music, getting high and chasing girls is the fun part. And that's what most artists want to do. So their business gets sloppy and someone's getting rich.
I could just imagine some of the shit that goes on. So when people say, okay, this artist doesn't own their masters, what does that entail? Like that they can't get no royalties off of them? I mean, this is an honest question because I have no clue.
Okay. All right, let me try to explain it to you the way you understand it, okay? Say today, you and me get on a record and we record a song that goes, something about you, baby, drives me crazy. Right, well, who wrote that? Well, I wrote the something about you, baby, so I'm a writer. You wrote a rap that says, so now you and me both are the writers.
Okay.
And once we record it and turn it into an MP3, just for you, that's the master of it. Okay, so whoever owns that master gets to keep all the money that comes from streaming, Apple Music. Whoever owns that master, these guys that wrote it, you and me, we still get our writer publishing and our writer royalties, which are pennies compared to the master, what the masters generate. So then you have the publishing and the writer royalties, and some of the mechanicals that come as a percentage from the sales, but that's a real small number, And so just to let you know, my catalog generates enough streaming revenue to where I never have to work again. I do this because I love it. because I own my masters. I own all the MC Magic masters.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? And so that's the difference. Is there's the masters, then there's and then the radio, and then the record industry has trained artists. You're going to get rich as long as you own your publishing. The publishing is
pennies compared
to the masters.
So when these artists sign the contract, they're like, damn, I got this contract.
Mm-hmm.
But in the contract, it'll say you own no rights to these masters.
Yeah, there's a term that one of my lawyers taught me, and that term is called in perpetuity. And in perpetuity means forever and ever and ever, like 10 lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? And so it means that once we give you this $100,000, all the work you gave us is ours in perpetuity. Forever. So that's why some artists, when they make enough money, they come back and try to buy their masters back. If they can, if the label sells them back to them, it's for a real pretty penny.
But I could see why a young artist broke wants to.
Yeah.
Because
they're gonna do all the hard work. They're gonna promote it for you. They're gonna make you famous. But nowadays, artists get famous on social media, so the record labels work means nothing. That's why they sign artists that are already popping, and they get them with the fat paycheck.
So, based on that, social media has changed a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, a lot. Just look at social media influencers that help you with finance. There's a zillion of those guys. Teach you with the stock market, teach you how to day trade, teach you how to buy businesses and flip businesses and real estate and all that stuff. Because social media has made influencers in every category. You can learn how to make a cake on social media. You feel me?
Right.
And so, the other day I had to make some, what did I have to make? Anyway, I'm not a kitchen fool. And so I had to make something. So I looked it up on social media, and I was like, oh, that's easy. On YouTube. Found a how-to video. I think I was just making rice for something, I had rice to go with because my wife.
Enchiladas?
I gotta go to the store, make the rice for me, and I'm like, what? How do you make rice? I know everybody watching me like this fool don't know how to make rice.
I didn't know either, dog. Yeah, I didn't know either, but now I know.
I don't remember what it was, but I'm saying the point is social media will teach you how to do anything. And so social media is where it's at right now, but that's the next section that they want to control. That's why now when you leave a comment on Instagram, they'll say, hey, this comment looks like it could be something that gets flagged or something like that, or you could get banned. It's because now they're slowly they start with a little bit of a censorship, but then they just control you completely. And that's why the news is so fake, because it's all controlled.
All that shit is controlled.
All of it is controlled.
And I think social media has backfired.
Yes.
And now they're trying to do damage control.
Yes.
Now we're going to censor that a little bit.
Yeah, they're trying to own social media. That's why they passed that new bill. They use TikTok as the fall guy. Like, we're going to get TikTok because China's raping us. Facebook been raping everybody for all their information. Facebook been raping her for all their data. So they use TikTok as the fall guy because they're a China company, right? And so, but they pass a law that says we can control all social media regardless. The government has the right to control. That's no more freedom of speech, really.
Because it could be manipulated.
Yeah,
just like everything's
been manipulated.
Yeah, this shit is like kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
All they gotta do is go behind the scenes and push a button.
Yeah.
And then it just censors.
Yeah.
All the real shit, and then they feed you the bullshit that they want you to see.
I'm a conspiracy theorist, guys.
Me too, a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
But I like to see things that I'm a realist. Is that a thing?
I saw this meme the other day that really makes a lot of sense. It says, Mom, what's a conspiracy theorist? People that realize the truth before everyone else does.
Oh, shit. There you go. I just think I disagree with a lot of the bullshit that goes on there.
Yeah.
But I just think that as business owners,
Yeah.
let's just utilize the platform to the best
Yeah.
that we possibly could.
And really at the same time,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to think, no matter how mad I get, it's not going to change anything in Congress. So I'd rather just focus my energy on doing my music or my podcast or my
You're right.
painting. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, because
I get mad. I get
getting upset, what's that going to do?
nothing. Nothing. Even the Bible says that your emotions will mislead you. Your emotions will mislead you.
They make you make
So
irrational
that's
decisions.
where the saying comes: mind over matter.
Damn. That's a fact too. You know, I
Yeah.
just think that when your emotions are so high, you start making irrational decisions and shit. Like,
Especially if you had a drink or two.
oh, valió madre. Then you're
Valió madre,
you
madre,
fucking
yeah.
start doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what projects are you working on currently?
The most important one is that we're promoting the one with Michael Salgado, Para Siempre. It's a collaboration with a Tejano legend. It's a different genre, if you will. It's two different genres blended. I don't care. I just like good music. I don't
Dope.
care genre. And Michael's amazing. Matter of fact, we should bring him in and you should get him on your podcast.
Shit, let's do this right now. Bring him in. Let's go. Where's Michael at?
Man, I got to use your restroom, brother.
Go for it, brother. This is good right here. And then I'm gonna bring you back on again. Let's do it.
Hey, do you want to stop and then?
Nah, let's keep going. And then what?
It's your turn, Betty. Where's the restroom, babe?
Outside.
Outside,
Yeah.
Chris, can you take him to the restaurant, please?
¿Esa es tejana o es sombrero?
Pues la gente le dice sombrero tejana. I mean,
Sí, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Pero ¿qué es la diferencia?
pues no sé, no creo que hay diferencia. Yo digo que es como la gente lo conoce, ¿no? Hey, pues tu tejana o tu sombrero. So, people have different dichos, ¿no? Para eso, pero...
Because they're making me a tejana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hell yeah, and that's the truth.
Lift up your head a little bit.
Okay.
Good?
Así, marro. Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
hay gentes que dice sombrero y otras gente dice...
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, what's the difference? Somebody's like, oh, tejana, no, sombrero. I'm like, dude, they both look the same.
Right.
Oh, one was like saying that the thing.
Yeah, the
But
brain.
anyhow.
Arriba. Yeah, it just depends how you want to work.
Okay.
them.
How did you meet MC Magic?
We were at we're doing a concert together in Dallas, Texas,
Okay.
and so that's the first time we had met there, and you know I got to check out his show, and then he I guess he had seen my show, and then my daughter was kind of more familiar, right, with the music, and so she said, no, it'd be cool if you guys did a collab, right? And I said, well, ask him and see if he'd be interested, right? If he'd be interested. And so she asked him, and he said, yeah, he was down. And, you know, that's kind of the way that started. And then, you know, he started putting together the song, and he said, you know, this is the chorus, you're going to do the chorus. And it was the song was a little out of my,
Hey, Mike, can I
Look.
stop you real quick?
yeah.
This arm is like in your way.
Okay.
It's so mad on us.
So are we on or no?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
Don't worry, we'll edit that.
okay. And so, you know, we started putting the song, and pues para el género mío, ¿no? Acordeón, pues yo toco más así de parranda and that type.
Yeah.
So when he brought the song, estaba más romántica, ¿no? So, a mí me costó un poquito when I was doing the accordion, porque pues no era mi, you know,
Yeah.
poco fuera mi estilo, lo mío es más acá, una cruz de madera, you know, esa onda, ¿no?
Puros corridos casi.
Pues así,
Un poco,
canciones
un poco. De pistear.
de pistear, ¿no?
Árale, okay.
Entonces sí tocó una que otra así romántica, ¿no?
Ok.
Pero entonces pues ya en la cantada y lo en el acordeón, pues you know, lo trabajé un poquito ahí. I was working it, and I was like, hey, but does that work, or what do you think? And no, it sounds good. Entonces that's where that kind of came about. We put the song together, and you know, I liked the way it came out. Me gustó cómo salió la canción.
Okay. And that one's already out.
Yeah, that's out. It's on all the platforms. Se llama Para Siempre. You know, great song. Una inspiración de MC Magic. So.
Yeah. But before you met MC Magic, you were already singing.
Sí, pues I've been doing it now professionally about 29 years. So Cruz de Madera salió el 95, 1995, man. You guys are probably still playing the playground.
Yeah.
Right? But so my first hit was Cruz de Madera, so that came out in 95. And then, so I played out here a lot in the 90s, you know, back in the day. And so I was telling my friend out there, you know, I was like, man, I haven't been out here in a minute, you know, it's been a little while. So, you know, Cruz de Madera came out, Palomita Blanca, Sin Ella, varios éxitos that came out after Cruz de Madera. And so, yeah, I had already been playing, you know, varios años in the business, so.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Cruz de
yeah.
Madera. I still remember it. Cruz de Madera. And yeah, so you've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, bastantes años, ¿no? Ya, pues vamos a cumplir 30 años next year.
But
Right?
you were in a group? Or it was just you?
Pues yo tenía el grupo, ¿no? Pero,
¿Cómo se llamaba el grupo?
pues, in the beginning le puso un nombre la disquera, ¿no? Michael Salgado y los Wranglers, ¿no? No sé qué.
Okay.
Entonces le dije, no, pues mejor lo dejamos nomás Michael Salgado, ¿no?
Okay.
So, así siempre ha sido, ¿no? Michael Salgado. Y ya después, pues ya le quitamos el nombre, ¿no? Pero so, siempre ha sido como mi nombre, ¿no?
Okay.
Entonces, pues sí, fui grabando varios temas, ¿no? Sangre de Rey, La vida en un hilo, A la media vuelta.
Ajá.
Varios temas que hemos, you know. Ojalá ahí. El advertising. So yeah, where was I? Trying to remember. But
No, you were saying about the group name. Que,
yeah.
Pero,
Entonces ya quedó nomás Michael Salgado y pues sí, I mean, ha sido pues ya varios años, ¿no? Y varios temas que he grabado. Y pues I've done a little bit, some things different now, you know, I've done like 12 country songs so far, right?
country?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're like dabbling in everything.
Yeah.
That's good. Shit.
Yeah, so I did country, últimamente grabé un EP de mariachi recordando a los grandes like Vicente, Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
So I did that, right? So my show is like, you know, the acordeon, and then toward the end I'll do, because one of my first country songs se llama Honky Tonks and Cantinas, right? And so esa canción, because kind of where I grew up, yo me crié en los ranchos, and you know, acá in Texas, so escuchábamos música, you know, country, todo eso también. So, but when I was with the label, they always, you know, I was like, well, man, I want to do country, record something. Y pues they were just like, no, pura acordeón, no. And I was with Sony for a while, and I wanted to do something there, but they just wanted to do, you know, lo mío, no, que era acordeón.
Yeah.
So when I went on my own in 2012, dije, pues I'm going to do country now that I'm going on my own under Zurdo Records, right? So I got a friend of mine who's in the country, and I told him, hey, you think you can, you know, you can produce something for me on the countryside, but in Nashville, right? And it's still guitar. Entonces rollo, no, that it sounds, you know, zapateros, zapatos. So like, pues Nashville's the one that does country. So he produced it out there, got it back. I did the vocals, mixed and mastered everything, right? And then when I heard it, I was like, you know, I mean, those guys do a great job, right? So, and when we were going to put it out, I was kind of nervous porque, pues, you know, all these years, pura acordeón y pura Cruz de Madera, pura parranda. So I was like, I don't know how the people are going to accept the country now, right?
Because it's a it's like a complete different genre. Like, it's going from like freaking alternative to rap.
Yeah. And so, you know, and that's crazy how now a lot of people are doing, you know, like Beyonce's did country now, and she did. So everybody's doing different stuff right now. But
and then Louis the singer is big.
Yeah, we're talking. Actually, we text a couple weeks ago. He texted me. He said, "Hey, I'm down, man. Let's do a collab."
No way.
On the countryside. So we're probably gonna do a country song collab together. Because we had been talking about it, right? Pero it was never like direct. It was more management. Y no se hizo, right? And then so he finally texted me. He got the number from my son. He said, hey, boy, let me talk to Mike direct. Because sometimes, you know, it gets lost with different. So he said, hey, man, I'm down. And let's do it. I said, okay, let's talk soon. And so, did something with Louis. I mean, going to do something with him pretty soon, pero, y luego grabé, the big one for me, kind of the bucket list for me was I did a collab with Don Ramon, right? And, yeah.
Damn.
Se llama El Correo de Ramón Ayala, right? And yeah. And I remember when Raúl called me, his assistant, he said, oye, Michael, quiere hablar contigo Don Ramón. I said, pues seguro. And then so he got on the phone. He said, Michael, pues le compusieron un corrido, pero pues se trata de mí, no lo puedo grabar yo, right? So quería saber si no lo grabaras tú. And I was like, well, shit, man. Like, I was like honored, right? I don't know if I can say shit, but.
No, go for it. You're fine. You're fine.
He said, so I was like, no, pues un gran honor, Don Ramón, la verdad. Because I was like, man, of everybody he could have asked, right?
So they wrote it.
Yeah.
And they called you.
Yeah. Yeah, he told me that a guy had wrote it, and I'm talking to him. He wrote la canción el compositor compuso la canción del Retén, right? His last single.
Okay.
So that guy wrote the corrido de Ramón Ayala, right? Mm-hmm. So I went to Freddie Records in Corpus where he recorded it, mm-hmm. right? So he kind of did everything, but I did the vocals. So you're gonna hear the vocals on there, but it's really his band. It's just my vocals. It's gonna be on the corrido. So it was just crazy to hear that, right? And for me, I mean, he's been. Anybody knows me, but they know that he's been a big inspiration. And I mean, I looked up to him since I was young. And that was because of my dad, because my dad escuchaba música Ramón. So I started liking it at a young age. So, when I would play in the bars, pues, they would call me Ramón a Chiquito because that's all I would play, right? Ramón stuff.
Puro Ramón.
So imagine I grew up, and there was a time when I was young and he was looking for a singer. And I'm like, man, I was like, I don't know, 19, 18. I was like, man, I wonder if I should call and see if he would let me, But I never did, right? I never took that leap to ask. And now, after so many years, and we've done stuff together in concerts where he'll invite me up and we'll sing some stuff, right? That's like crazy for me. It's always very surreal. But to do a song with him, actually recorded, that's gonna stay forever, right? It's just amazing for me. And so when this opportunity came, I was like, man, this is, I've got to do it. And so that'll be coming out soon, that collab with Ramon. I mean, I did something also with Pescadores del Rio Concho. I did something. Actually, one of my hits, Cinea, they wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. And so we did something there. I was in talks for a little while with El Chapo de Sinaloa, too, to do a song.
He's one of the OGs.
Yeah, man.
Chapo de Sinaloa.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, we talked about doing something there. So we're still, it may happen at some point. But got that going on right now. I'm actually doing an album also donde vienen, pues, muchas canciones del pasado, ¿no? Like Una Página Más y... Una Noche Serena y Oscura, all that stuff. So I'm going to do something así, algo del recuerdo por ahí, canciones that we're working on as well with my album right now.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
So you said you would come here in the 90s, like 95, a lot.
Yeah.
So that you would come and perform at Parral, Potrero,
right,
Rodeo. Tell me about that.
Yeah, man. We did Pico Rivera too. Man, I remember we played here so much at los festivales, right? We played here. We played one day. We came from Monterrey, flew in. As soon as we flew in, I don't know if we had to change in a vehicle and go to a festival, right? We played 3 times that day. I mean, we were so dead tired, right, that we were going to play at night again. So we went to sleep, and then they woke me up like, hey, we got to go do that next gig. So I was like half asleep when I did that gig. But, yeah, we did all the circuit here in LA in all lo que era the 90s, right? And then I did some stuff when I was with Sony after 2001. But it was I did Pico Rivera a couple of times with Ramon there, so that was always cool también. It's been quite an experience, to work. Now we'll do California, but we do more like Fresno and that area, right?
But I just think Parral is not here no more.
Right.
Rodeo's not here no more.
Yeah.
Like, only the Pico Rivera Sports Arena, right?
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the Potreros turned into a freaking. Yeah, Potreros. Hey, how about El Farallón? Is still good?
We did that. We did that a while back, but it's been a minute since we've performed there. But yeah, todos esos lugares nosotros hacíamos todos los lugares on the weekends out here.
That's dope,
Cuando
man.
estaba la Cruz de Mara, bien fuerte y pues estábamos trabajando para acá para arriba. And I did a lot of promotion over here. Kind of what I'm doing. That's what I had mentioned to him outside. Like it's been a long time since I've done from a promo tour like this. It's been some years.
Yeah.
Especially in LA too. Like it's been a while. Ya entró por social media and then, we went that way. But it's good to be back and kind of. And so when MC Magic told me, hey, pues let's go and do promo on the new song, I said, yeah, man, I'm down.
Shit, I'm just happy you guys are here.
Man, I was like, man, it was like, I'll take the opportunity because, I hadn't been over here in a while, so it's good to be out here.
Well, that's dope. Who inspired you? Like, you said a lot of powerful names, and I think we all know these names because we grew up with them, right?
Right.
It's like, who is like some of the singers that you're like, damn, like that individual, they did so much for me and inspired my career.
Right. Well, like I said, Ramon was at top of the list. Cornelio, Eliseo Robles, these guys are the ones who really. I mean, when I was growing up, esa es la música que yo escuchaba, ¿no? Ramón or Relámpagos, and even Tigres as well. Some other great guys too. Like those guys are the most humblest guys that I've ever met. In the shows, we've done a few shows together with them, and just great bunch of people, right? And so Tigres, all these guys, but I was kind of more. My stuff was just Ramon, Relámpagos, and that was my circle, man. Like, it just. I know there's a lot of talent out there, but that's kind of the music that I would listen to when I was growing up and as I was playing, but once I started coming to California, pues escuchaba mucho la banda, over here.
That's a huevo.
Yeah. So it was a different world for me, And now it's just part of my world as well. So, I've gotten to do some different stuff with a lot of different bandas. So it's cool, man.
Because you grew up in San Antonio.
Well, I've been in San Antonio the time I've been in my career, which has been about 28 years. I grew up more like West Texas, Mazacá, not as a big city of San Antonio, right?
So ahí casi no se oía la banda, entonces.
No se oía la banda till now. Pues it's it's there, but it took a while before it came in. I think it came in 2000, maybe even after. Maybe it started coming in 2000, maybe after 2010, maybe porque allá pues era más norteño, más tejano, más esa onda, ¿no? And so yeah, it took a while, but now pues it's everything's out there from Peso Pluma to everything, and so it just it's part of what's out there, and you've got to be current with what everything that's going on.
And what do you think about the wave of this? All the Mexican artists, it's just like a freaking wave.
Man. Well, on the upside, I mean, I think that it's great that all these guys are doing so well, por el lado mexicano, and I mean, you got all these guys, and I've seen like Peso and all these guys, and Jimmy Fallon, all these shows, right? So it's good, that the Hispanics are doing really well. I think that's the most important thing. Toda la raza,
Hell yeah.
Para arriba.
Porque cuando se miraba a alguien being Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
When the fuck?
They'd be like, hey,
bro,
get out.
like, dog. I just be like, when Peso Pluma was on there, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, in the VMAs.
Yeah.
We didn't grow up with watching that.
Yeah,
it was nothing but rap, alternative, this, that.
Yeah.
Pero la regional, nunca.
Nomás en su lugar, ¿no? So,
y ahora
están expandando
bastante. Orgullo, ¿verdad?
Sí. La verdad que sí, no. I mean, pues para arriba de la raza, ¿no?
Eso mero. And so then you got that project with MC Magic, and you guys are going to start going on tour or like what's the plan with that?
Well, we're talking about, because I've got a show in Vegas, right? I'm doing something at the Fremont Country Club on July 11th. So MC Magic said, you know what, I think I'll go, man. And so we might do that. He's probably gonna be there. So we'll probably do the song there, right, at the show. And but yeah, of course, inviting all the West Coast, man, come out and join us. You know, you can get your ticket at michaelsalgado.com. We're gonna be out there. So it's gonna be July the 11th. So we might start doing some stuff together. You know, right now we're kind of just doing this promotional tour and trying to get things. But I'm excited because, you know, la raza está aprendiendo con la canción and they're really liking it. You know, it's something, I think for like my fans, it's something different that they get to hear from me, right? And then vice versa, I guess, you know, his fans hear and they, well, who's this guy, Mike Salgado? And, you know, so it's a different genre. And
big time. It's like aquí, acá, y vámonos.
Yeah. So.
And have you learned a lot from just being around like MC Magic?
Yeah, I mean, I like the way he thinks, man, and you know, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and you know, I think that the things that we've done together have really, you know, brought us to another level for us as artists, right? To be able to combine and do the stuff we do, but definitely, what I've learned from him is, he's a hustler. He does stuff and does things on his own, and let's get it done. But you got to, you know, you gotta hustle and you gotta work and to make things happen. They're not gonna happen on their own. So.
Fuck no, you gotta hustle. You gotta do.
Echarle ganas.
You know, echarle ganas todos los días, and he has energy.
Yeah,
I'm like, man.
Yeah.
And he said I'm almost 60. I'm like, nah, hell no.
I know. I was like,
si Dios me deja vivir y si Dios me da licencia, yo le pido que me dé energía así at that age.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, he says he runs with his dogs.
Yeah.
They go, well, I do the elliptical machine. I don't run. It gets hard on my knees. He's like, no, I run. So, yeah, I mean, la energía que tiene, and, you know, just the positive energy that he has is great. It's great.
And I think he's so knowledgeable because he's been around.
Right.
So, like, earlier we were talking about the business aspect
of
this. And like a lot of people don't see that shit until later.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things, you know? So definitely. I'm sure that, you know, he could teach you a lot. I mean, you've been around too, so tú ya sabes también.
Pues sí, lo mío, pues yo siempre le he echado ganas a lo mío, and I'm always kind of hands-on. I've always been hands-on my stuff, you know, because you do have those experiences where people, you know, try to get him fregar, and, you know, so I've been there and done that. I've been there since my first label. My first label tried to do that, and, you know, I got in lawsuits with them, and, you know, so you learn, you live in, como dice la canción, you don't, if you haven't lived, you haven't learned, you know, it's like, you know, it's like,
shit, that's a fact. And I think you were young.
Yeah.
Some people are just like, you know, like they prey on young people. That's what they do.
Y es lo malo, you know, it's like they take advantage because they know, well, you know. And then when I started, I'm going like, well, you know, I used to make, you know, clear to almost nothing when you start. So, you know, they offer you a semi-record deal, and you're like, oh, yeah, man, that's great. But it's not, right? The bad part is they wanted to offer me a little better deal after all my success. And I'm like, yeah, now you guys are just, you guys are
Fuck
now.
no.
Yeah. I was like, I'm out. So, you know, it happens. And in the business, I've learned that a lot. And so I'm kind of like he is, where you're just hands-on, you know, like my kids work with me for the same reason.
So those are both your daughters?
Well, no, one of them is my daughter and one of them is my son, right? So they work with me, like they handle the booking, they handle the management for the same reason, because I've had people in-house in the office, right, that, you know, skim off the top, and you're like, you work for me and you're still trying to steal money from me. So, you know. So, yeah, you know, I brought them in. They're older now. They were younger, you know, but now they're older. So, you know, you have your own family there. So you have to. So that's why I've always been kind of hands-on, because, pues, you know, si no cuidas lo tuyo, pues, you know, ¿quién te lo va a cuidar?
That's what I was going to say. Pues si no cuidas lo tuyo, nadie te lo va a cuidar.
Yeah.
And that's good that you have your kids working.
Yeah.
You know? So then you take them everywhere with you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they go on the road. Like my son, he does content, he does booking. My daughter does management on the road. She does booking, she does office, So it's kind of, I got them involved because it's come to a point where it's kind of hard to trust other people, right, to run your operation. So it's a tough business. So it's very cutthroat business, and so you always have to be on your game. And si no, alguien más trata de quitarte lo tuyo, and then you work so many years to get where you're at. It's so. Definitely, you're and you're learning every day. It's just part of life, but I think that now, pues having my own label and we kind of have that control. It's a little different now than before.
The best way. You have full control. You have people that you trust.
Yeah,
because you're right. It's fucking cutthroat out there, man. That shit ain't no joke, man. That's not like, no, está cabrón, pero as long as you have everybody, the right people in place, and it seems like this whole circle is just good.
Yeah.
And
that's for sure. So, le vamos a echar ganas hasta que pueda, porque ahorita también, aparte, pues, le estoy ayudando a mi hijo, ¿no? Andrés Salgado, que he was more interested in la cantada part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like 27, so está empezando a entrarle también. He's got a new song that'll be coming out soon también. So, because sooner or later, pues, I'll be out of this genre, and then they got to continue and, continue growing the catalog and the business. So
you'll be more like a manager in the
yeah.
You'll be like, ay, mijo, esto, así. Y vámonos.
I can do that all day, It's just, they would tell me, some people were like, well, just do more of the singing and do more of the, concentrate on that. But it's just hard for me. I've always been hands-on, so, pero.
Yeah. And what advice would you give, like, new artists that want to pursue what you did? Like,
well, you got to work. You got to work hard, man, and you got to have a lot of self-discipline, because if you're not disciplined in what you're doing, well, it can all go to shit, and and real fast. So, stay focused, work hard. That's the most important thing. Cuando empecé mi carrera, I was always on the road doing promoting my music. I was just on it hard, right? And that's why I think the songs did so well back then, the way they do, because I was just hitting the road all the time, right? And doing promotion in California 2 weeks, and going to Atlanta and the East Coast and up north. So you got to work it. Nothing's that easy. Now I think the big advantage that a lot of talent has is social media. There's talent they'll be on there, and they go viral, and they make it. So they, I think it's a little easier now for the talent, but whatever works. It's just, that's what's this day and age, right? And you've got that advantage, so take advantage of that, right?
Because when you were coming up, there was no social media. There was radio.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Yeah, just radio. Now you got social media, you got the podcast, you got so many things that people can do to get out there. So if you're not out there now, it's just because you don't want to be out there, because the opportunities are there for you.
Dang.
Work it.
That's what's
Get
up.
it.
Your show is when?
It's going to be July the 11th. It's going to be at the Fremont Country Club. And my buddy MC Magic's probably going to be out there. So you guys got to come here. Para siempre out there, right? Live.
Live, baby. Let's go. Michael Salgado, thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Vámonos.
That's all.
All right. Let me get MC Magic back so we can close it up.
All right,
Michael.
thank you, man.
Vámonos.
Pleasure, man.
Let's get MC Magic real quick back.
Let's go, bro. This one, the 2 hours, yeah, 45 minutes. Just that far on this one.
How much time do we got?
You guys, so far, an hour and 13 minutes.
How much did we do with
45.
With him?
And 45 with MC.
Okay. That was good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's dope.
He's fucking dope, bro.
He's full of heart.
Dog. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's see. All right. I touched on this with him too. I said, this business shit is cutthroat, huh?
Oh yeah, it is. For sure.
Like to the point where these fucking record labels are out there to get motherfuckers, right? Like,
I mean, and I don't want to go too deep with it because it's really deep. But these record companies are now owned by these investment groups that own Amazon, that own Walmart, and so it's just a business to them. It's not like, oh, he wrote the song, pobrecito, he should get. They're like, man, this is business, brother. You signed the contract, get the out of here, you know.
no feelings, no
there's no
emotions,
feelings.
no, just
Look at your money. You ain't got no emotions. Your money ain't got no feelings. It's business. Yeah. And so it's deep, brother.
So when these artists sit down and they are about to sign this contract, how important is it for them? You don't have to sign on the spot, do you? Like you would call
don't.
your attorney or
You don't have to sign on a spot, but one of the best things, one of the best investments that any artist can make is to get themselves a lawyer, because it's not only frustrating, but impossible to read a contract and understand everything. Because some of these terms in there, some of these loopholes, they can really write something real fancy to say we're going to give you this, and then later on write something to take it back, and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? And so investing in a good lawyer to take care of your contract is very important. It's a big investment that you can make. And, I didn't even know, but I hired a lawyer for my first major contract that I did. And she wrote magic. I made sure that the contract was done right. And I have a couple clauses in there. She goes, number one clause is they got to give you another $280,000 for them to exercise their second option. I'm like, okay, I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. They had to pay me $280,000 to exercise their second option. I'm like, well, what's exercise, right? Well, that means if they want another album from you, they're going to give you another $280,000 before you deliver that album, right? But it's an option, and it could be 6 options on the deal, right? So she told me that, and I'm like, okay, cool. She goes, and another clause is that if they don't exercise their option, you're free to leave with your brand name. And that's unheard of, you know? That's why I lost the name Nasty Boy Click to the second label I was working with.
Oh,
but I didn't.
That makes sense.
I didn't lose it to the first one because I had a lawyer. And the second one, he was Raza. So I thought, Raza's not going to screw me. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And so, but he kept the name. It lost all value when I left.
Because you were the más chingón. You were the one making it happen. So
El más chingón is George Lopez, bro.
Okay, yeah. You're right.
Even though
remember.
Yeah. I heard he had a meltdown recently in Vegas or something like that.
I think so. I seen something like that this morning.
God bless George.
God bless him, man. He's such a pioneer that I'm just like, all right, que Dios me lo bendiga. I don't know what happened, pero, because I really don't like to. I'm like, just pray for him.
Little Rob turned me on to a George Lopez comedy tape when I met Rob. I want to say this was 2003. And he, just keep the cassette. Give it back to me later, bro. And I listened to the hell. I was not even a George Lopez fan, but after that, sheesh, we went hard. I took my whole family to go see George Lopez, and my kids were like 10 and 11.
I've seen George Lopez 3 times. I've seen George Lopez. I've seen every freaking Latino comedian. Felipe Esparza.
That's sick.
Like,
it's important. It's
Carlos
important.
Mencia.
I love all of them.
I love all of them, dude. Like that.
Yeah.
And it went through. And now I've seen everybody.
All the new age
all
comedians.
The new ones,
they're doing good too.
Concrete Valentino. I watch all of them. I like comedy is good for your soul.
It is. Laughing is medicine.
It's like, dude, you gotta, laugh sometimes.
Oh man, that's one thing I love is laughing.
So, what advice would you give to some upcoming artists that are eager to get a deal, that are eager to just sign some shit and get a check?
When you hustle hard, it takes a lot of patience. But you also have to be impatient. So what happens is when you're impatient, you don't stop working towards your goal. But when you're patient, you don't accept whatever. So there's a balance of being patiently impatient. You see what I'm saying? Patiently impatient. Like, don't stop grinding. If someone, like when I wrote the song Lost in Love, I had friends that worked at the radio station that had the power to put it on the radio just to see if the raza liked it. Because there was no internet. There was no YouTube, right? and I had a homie tell me, damn, it's a dope record, bro. It's love. It's sick. And I'm like, that's good news. So you're gonna put it on the radio? Nah, I can't put it on the radio, bro. And so it frustrated me that how you gonna tell me it's good, but you won't put it on the radio? And what they didn't tell me at the time is they didn't have the power to do it. It's a program director who actually puts on the music, but I'm the DJ, bro, and the ego didn't let him. So one of the things is there's so many obstacles. Today there's different obstacles. And you have to be so persistent with your work that not only someone notices, but they notice so much that they share it. For someone to like is one thing, but to like and actually share, like when you really like something, you're gonna copy the link and you're gonna text it to your girl and be like, "Mommy, check this out. Look how funny it is," right? Yeah. And so you have to be that good for someone to say, "Man, I gotta show this video to my homie." Like the video I did with the Yodis, the song called Pocho. That was one of those records where you're like, damn, I know Bobby's going to check out what these fools did, Bobby. You know what I'm saying? And it's got to be that impactful. You can't just nobody loves me. Man, crying ain't going to get you nowhere. And I've seen those artists, but today's artists, it's tough not to be entitled when they've already given you everything. When you were little, they gave you an iPhone. When later, they get you the iPad and the iMac. And you didn't work for nothing. So you already feel entitled to everything.
That's a mic drop right there. But I think that makes your generation, and I think we're probably the last one that we didn't grow up with the social media stuff, that we dealt with so much stuff that we're more, when it comes to adversity and dealing with issues, we're more like, fuck it. We have that attitude.
Of course.
We're going to fucking make it happen.
Course.
Oh, if this is an option, then I'm going to create another option. Well, I'm going to go to A, B, and C, all the way to fucking Z.
Yeah.
And I think that's the grit that our generations have, opposed to, the newer generation that, they already grew up with certain things.
There was a post that I saw the other day, and it's really heart touching and truthful. I love truth. Truth is the most beautiful thing in the world, and there's people that they'll hug a lie so hard that they're delusional. They're delusional, and so this guy said, I eat like this, and he was like in a construction zone, all todo sudado and bad. He pulled out of a piece of foil a little sandwich, and I ate like this, and then it switched, said, so my family can eat like this. And then it showed him and his family at a restaurant and just enjoying it. And what happens is a real man does anything for his family. A real man does everything so his family can live in an air-conditioned house. They can have their food. Their wife has a nice car, gets her nails done. A real man is going to do all that and take no credit for it. Be like, I did my job. Right? Those type of men are not being raised anymore, bro. Those type of men are not being raised anymore. So in the same token, those type of kids are not seeing those type of role models. And so it's a destruction of quality people. You know what I'm saying?
And I said this before. I said, okay, look, I get it. Be in tune with your feelings, right? This is what's being pushed, right? And I said, okay, I understand. Mm-hmm. Okay, sometimes you need to process things. But, bro, we're still men. We still got to provide. We still have to have that standard. We are raising children. We're being husbands, fathers. So I agree with you 1,000%. But I just think a lot of this shit is getting diluted.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And men can really do it. Even the new ones, they can do it.
Yeah. I
because think who created the sun, the stars, the grass, the cows, the food, the grass that cows eat, and the milk that comes from the cows, that it's a cycle. Mm-hmm. The person who invented all of this is God. He made all of it. And then when he made man, he said, I made you in my image. We are in the image of the creator. That's why being creative is so important. Right? So if we are made in the image of the creator, we can do anything. You feel me? And so cuando te amarras los huevos, you can get anything done, bro. And that's what it is. God is there to shine, put the sunshine on you every day. The sun shines even on dog shit, bro.
Damn. And that is another fact. You dropping bars after bars after bars. My mom would tell me this. When I'd be like, no, mamá, esto me está pasando, whatever. She's like, hey, amárrate un huevo, cabrón.
That's it.
Okay?
That's it.
Y vamos, enséñales. My mom's a tough lady, bro.
Man,
and they watch every episode. So,
God bless your mom, bro. God bless your mom.
Man.
There's so many Mexican sayings that have so much depth, and we just take them for granted. You know, they say, no te ahogues en un vaso de agua.
That's my dad's right there. Yeah.
Dog, that's deep. That's deeper than the ocean. That's deep, but we just take it as a given. You know what I'm saying? Ponte las pilas. It says it all, but we hear it so much that it dilutes. It just becomes a saying, not the actual meaning behind it. You got to take life literal, bro. You got to take life literal, you know. And like I said, the day that God decides to turn the sunshine off, how long is it going to take for everyone to freeze their ass off? You know, the sun even warms the other side of the world that it's not shining on, bro.
Damn.
That's phenomenal.
That's insane once you really think about it that way. I'm like, man.
You see what I'm saying? So if God decides, ahora se acaba la luz, cabrones.
Ya estuvo todo.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So this is another thing, man. I hate to get super deep, but it's really
No, this is good. I like this.
I love truth. When it comes to food, it's real easy. It's real easy to eat healthy. You know why? Because if God made it, it's good for you. But if man made it, it's probably bad.
All that processed food.
Yeah.
The man touches.
Yeah.
And puts all this fucking.
Yeah.
All this
Like my
crazy.
tío, I have a cousin named Germán, and one of my favorite sayings that my tío said to him, I was probably 6 years old, and Germán was playing with this little toy. Germán had a little squeaky voice like that, you know, like Mickey Mouse. and Germán was like, papi, se me quebró este. He was like juguete. And my tío came over, he goes, Germán, tú eres como un estómago. And I was like, 8 years old. Like, what is he saying? Todo lo que tientas lo haces mierda.
That's a good one. I don't think I've heard that one. Oh,
I was
shit.
like, damn. It's so sick, you know what I'm saying? And that's what mankind has managed to do, you know. Not only, turn so many things into garbage. There's a lot of good in the world, but it seems like the bad just gets so much more publicity.
Do you think that's purpose? I don't want to get into conspiracies.
It is on purpose.
It's like shine light on todas las
It is on
pendejadas.
purpose. It is on
Y en
purpose.
todo lo bueno.
Mira, let me tell you this. Say, for instance, you want to take over your ex-homie. We'll say his name is Juan. You want to take over Juan's family because you like his girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like his girl. You want to move into his house. So the first thing you do is you start telling Juan's kids how much of a piece of shit their dad is.
Fuck.
Right? And then you convince his girl. I say, wait, he didn't value you. You're prettier. You're better than this. And women are just as strong as men. Don't let him. Whoever's manipulating that to this girl named America, that's what they're doing to all America's kids. They're turning the kids against America so that they can come in and fuck America.
Fuck yeah. And that's facts. I see so much shit going on that it shit makes no fucking sense. And I'm just like, I got kids. So
Yeah.
I got little kids. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fuck, and I just started
Yeah.
thinking like,
And if you and I got to be honest with you, bro. If your kids are going to public school, they're probably already being trained to disobey you.
fun fact right now. 2 months ago or a month ago, I'm like, no mas. The youngest one, her last day was last Friday, I think.
Yeah.
So we
Summer
let her
break.
finish the grade, her third grade, so she could go into the fourth. That's it. No more public Christian. I'm putting her.
I salute you, bro, because that's what a fucking real man would do.
Thank you.
I salute you because not my kids. My kids are not going to go through that. My kids are not going to be brainwashed.
No.
My kids are not going to come home one day and say, ¿Sabes qué? No quiero ser hombre. Mrs. Culo Verde told me that I could be a girl now.
I seen a fucking this guy that spits all these facts on like social media, and it was a skit when the 5-year-old is sitting with his mom, and he's asking him, "Mom, can I drink alcohol?" And they, "No, you're 5." "Mom, can I smoke cigarettes?" "No, you're 5." "Mom, can I drive your car?" "No, you're 5." And then he's like, "Mom, can I change my sex to be a female?" He's like, "Sure, you're wise enough." Dog, I was just like mind blown,
Like I tell you,
crazy.
America's kids are being brainwashed to think, to vote against their own benefit. To vote against your own benefit. Just take this for example. Really happened yesterday. The girl who drives the shuttle bus, shout out Maricela, from LAX to Avis Rent-A-Car, was telling me a little bit of her life story. She goes, I just came back to driving these buses, and they gave me up to 20 hours of overtime a week. Shoot, I took all of them. She goes, and when I got my paycheck, 100% of the money that I made in overtime went back to taxes in the government. Because once you make that much overtime, it's a different tax bracket, right? I didn't know that. I had a regular job in 30 years, right? So she said that all of her money, she goes, I don't even fucking want to work overtime no more because it's just to give the money away. I don't even get to keep my own overtime money, right?
That's fucking crazy.
Right. And there's this saying going around right now that says the reason America started a war with England saying, no, you're not going to control us, because England was imposing a 2% tax on America on tea. That's why they called it the Boston Tea Party. Right? A 2% tax. They're like, 2% tax? This is war, brother. America used to fight for itself. War for a 2% tax. Today, Americans, when you tally up all the taxes, it's almost 50% of everything you make goes to taxes. From your income tax to your gas tax to your driving tax to your sales tax, your state tax, the city tax.
Now they're gonna implement a new one, a breathing
tax.
If you breathe, motherfucker, you're getting taxed.
No, listen.
This is crazy.
So they've been telling the world that these electric cars are going to save the planet. California just announced that they have so many electric cars that they're missing their gas tax. So now they're going to have to start charging by the mile if you use the American roads.
And then I look at some of the rental laws that they're trying to pass, that Gavin Newsom, that mother. I just cannot understand. I mean, I know the plan. I know their big plan. But I just be like, damn, this is just, I see it. I just in the open.
They don't even hide it no more. But the Bible says in the last days, the devil will tell you he's the devil and you won't believe it.
Shit, and I'm just like, man, what can we do at this point?
Yeah.
Like what? Fuck. It's just.
But I got a new album coming out.
I'm like, man, let's talk about the album.
Yeah.
But this is some real ass stuff.
It really is going on, brother.
And
really
I hope that people, we have to be smart.
Yeah.
But I like the way you think, MC Magic. He's not only good at music, he's smart. That's so man. Shit. Let's talk about the album. Let's talk about what you got coming.
Man, well, I got this song with the Yodis and that Mexican OT. So we got that Mexican OT from Texas and the Yodis. We already dropped Pocho. Amazing record. I love it. It's a beautiful. If you haven't checked out Pocho, you need to check it out. And if you know what a Pocho is, then you'll understand it.
I know exactly.
Okay, and so I have that, and I did a new record with the Yodis and that Mexican OT. It's called That Bounce, and That Bounce. Man, I'm so excited about that. We just filmed a video in Houston, Texas. Let me tell you, I'm a weird person because I was in Houston, Texas, and it was 100 degrees, but I wanted to wear these dope shades and a jacket. So my T-shirt underneath was completely sweating. And I was like, this feels so good. I'm weird, bro. No, but I felt like I was in my sauna. You know what I'm saying? But I was getting work done at the same time. But anyways, that video is going to be phenomenal. Houston, everybody that lives in Houston, they talk about how hot it is and the humidity. I love Houston. I love that humidity. It's just good. It gets rid of my toxicity.
Well, sweating is good. I love being in the sauna, bro. I be drenched like a mother. I don't know if you noticed that I had the AC super on blast, right?
Yeah.
Because I sweat. I sweat a lot. So it's like, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm a friolento too, bro. I love the
Big
heat,
time.
and I'm a friolento. Like when I travel in the airplanes, for some reason, even if you get in an airplane and it's hot, by the time it's in midair, that AC is cracking. And so I have a windbreaker jacket that I keep in my backpack. Sauce, boy, I gotta get warmed up.
Hell yeah.
Because I love the heat. I just love heat.
I still sleep with my San Marcos cobijas.
Yeah.
Like I have real Mexican cobijas, like for real. I don't have a comforter. I have some real.
You have that real Santa Fe Spring Swap Meet.
Hell yeah, dog! I got some bomb ass shit. And my wife is like, "We really have cobijas?" I was like, "Well, I was raised this way. I cannot have a comforter. Mm-hmm. Like my shit, like." When we did the appraisal for my house when I was refinancing, the appraiser took the picture and pinche león.
En la cama. Hey, león on this side and Tupac on that side.
Yeah, bro. So I really just have cobijas up to this day.
That's it.
And I like to fucking be bien calentito.
That's it.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah.
Well, the shows, any shows coming up?
Man, MCMagicConcerts.com. We add shows to it nonstop. This year I only got probably like 40 dates left, but we're still working, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, we're moving and grooving, man. And gracias a Dios, because I have a small but effective team. Everybody does their part. And, whether you want to get MC Magic makeup palettes, whether you want to get merch, a diamond tumbler, a hoodie, whatever, or you just want some concert tickets, or you want to check out J-Rocks or my son Antonio Cardenas, it's all right on one spot called mcmagic.world, not .com, .world.
And there you have it. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much.
Much love, brother. Thank
MC
you guys
Magic
for
and
having me.
I appreciate it.
Shout out to the real hustlers.
There you go, baby. Let's go. And we're out.